So somebody has asked me like, hey, do you think it's better to breed birds in individual cages, or is it better to breed them in open loft like the kind what I have? The answer to the question is that it varies by person per person, like, and also it varies by breed. Like, if the cage is quite big, of course, you can breed them in both depending upon the size of the breed. Like this individual breeding pen, where it's not actually individual breeding pen, it was like kind of a holding pen for new birds, or when I'm taking pictures, or if I want a pair of birds. This is my setup. It's okay. It's a 2 foot wide, 2 foot long, 2 foot tall cage, but if you have bigger breeds like powders, you can build one that is like 3 foot long, 3 foot wide, 2 foot tall kind of stuff. So the answer to the question is that you could breed them in both things. The beautiful thing, or the advantage of breeding birds in this kind of setup, is that if you want to exactly know, like, these are the dad and mom to the babies in an individual, that is a done deal, because you don't have to worry about any other cockbird trying to mate with a hen. So it is good for your breeding records that you know for sure this is the dad and mom. And another thing is like the birds are getting a lot of privacy. They're just mainly concentrating on breeding. They don't need to worry about any other birds attacking them or their babies. It's less stressful on the birds. And also, if you don't have that much room, you only want to keep a few birds, this will be a good setup to breed birds. The drawback for this thing is like this cage, I cannot put no thing in which some container for them to take bath. And also, like, if you have birds that are used to be flying around and then you put them in this cage, they just, after some time, they get tired of being in the cage. They want to get out. Like these breeds, I've bred them in individual as an open loft, and they do fine in both. But I've bred in these cages homers, rollers, mookies, priest, seraphims. So smaller sized birds. I never bred any Indian fantails or powders in these cages because I feel they're like too small for them. But my thing that I noticed with these birds is that since I take birds from open loft and put it in here, they'll breed in here, but when they are raising babies, they just they get so bored of sitting in these small cages and they want to get out. And like you can see them like started banging on the walls, like they want to get out. So some birds like almost like kind of half feed the babies because they're tired, they want to get out. So that is one of the drawbacks. But if you have birds that are originally born in these kind of things and is all they see, that'll work. And also these birds can hear my other birds flying around and making noise, and also it automatically triggers in them that that freedom in them that they want to get out. So but if you have them in area where they cannot hear any other birds and they're just by themselves, more privacy to be exact, this will be a hit. So anyhow, these two birds, I'm done with the breeding, but they're already sold, and the person who is getting them asked me to keep them like this so that he doesn't need to worry about breeding them, mating them when they get there, because these were two pairs I put together and they're already mated up. So I just for the video I thought like maybe I just put a nest ball in here and see how the birds react, because they're mated up. I know they all are mated up, so see what happens with these guys. So here's another nest ball for the red priest, and see how they react to this, if they get excited or not. It's kind of cold in here, so who knows. In the meanwhile, let's take a look at this roller kit box. By the way, this roller kit box is an ideal individual breeding, like for fantails. I've bred fantails and powders, homers in here. If you guys go look at some of my older videos, you can see several pairs of Indian fantails breeding in here. I had once a fantail pair that raised babies. I opened the door, the fantails flew out, came back, and they was really good. So this is, I would say, 4 foot tall, 4 foot wide, 4 foot long, and it's sitting on wooden legs, so it gives more height, gives you a 6 foot height. But anybody who just want to have a pair of birds, this is an ideal setup. Of course, you gotta have room for the babies, but if you just want to have a pair of birds, this is an ideal setup. But I keep rollers in here for the time being, so some young rollers in here are here doing their thing. So there's a yellow check over there, all ball head rollers. There's a red check, he's a cockbird. You got an almond over there. I think this almond is a hen, but I'm not sure. There is a spread ash red or lavender cockbird over there. Another lavender, I think that is a cockbird. It's black. It's black with a hen for sure. And there you go. It's another lavender. That looks like a bell neck, but it's actually ball head. It's a mismarked ball head, but looks like a bell neck. I had a hen like that, but I sold it. But here's a try to get this. Yeah, there you go. So you can see this is a lavender over there too. You can see 2 lavender. Another 2 red cockbirds. Okay, I thought that was red cockbird. That's a cockbird. I know the red check is a cockbird, but the yellow check is a hen. The red check and yellow check, they make a good pair. But anyhow, what I was trying to do, this black is a hen. Yeah, I mean, we can look at this way. Look at this lavender over here. You can see some black fleckings over there. So the spread ash red or lavender is good for black. And if you look at the other one, clean lavender, without any fleckings or anything in there. So 2 variations of the color. I cleaned this loft. I mean this not loft. This what do you call it, like a kid box, maybe a week ago, but you can see it's already with dust and stuff. So that's a young almond roller over there. I don't know the sex about that. And there's a nice almond over there, ball head. All these are ball heads. So both the lavenders are cockbirds. But anyway, this is again like another good setup for if you want to breed a pair of birds, like a bigger bird. So if you have rollers, maybe you can put two pairs of rollers in here. But it's a pretty good setup for that. Let's go and look at these priests, how they're doing. Okay, look, they're sitting on the top of the nest ball. Both of them. Okay. Apparently they seem to like it. So this is going to activate, give them like in a breeding mode. Because the guy who's getting them said that, he wants to have them ready to breed when they get there. So these are breeders. These are not young birds. These are breeders. But just giving a nest ball, can speed up things so fast. Nice muffs over there. So that is my my opinion about breeding in individual and open loft. I personally don't like breeding them in individual lofts because you know, I like the birds to fly around, have fun. That is just my thing. And also you have to separately feed and give water to these individual ones. So that is another thing you have to do. So think about having like 20 or 30 individual breeding pens. That's a lot of work. So birds are just, again, just chilling over here. A little bit of sunlight hitting. It's a cold day. A lot of action going in the roller kickoff. Let's take a look. Too much noise. I didn't know that these guys were even making that much noise. Maybe the yellow checker is a cockbird too. We got a cock and so they you hardly raise any yellow check cockbird, so that could be a cockbird. I know the black is a hen. And hopefully one of those almonds is a hen too. So anyhow, that is I'm gonna try to do another video of these guys if they get more active and the cockbird started to call the hens on the nest. But so far they're not too thrilled. They're okay. So anyhow, they're nice pairs. Both of them are really nice. Nice much too. The yellow is a hen over there. This is nice one in here. Well, that's it.